Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. I hope you're having an amazing day back at work after Mother's Day. Yesterday morning, I woke up to my oldest in the kitchen cooking for me. She asked me the night before what I wanted for breakfast, and I let her know that waffles were on my list. So there she was, standing in the kitchen, making me homemade waffles and a beautiful fruit compote to go on top of that. That was followed by my youngest coming up to snuggle with me. We were able to watch a show together and just enjoy one another's company. And it was just a big, happy family. It was such a lovely day. If you're a mama and you're tuning in, I do hope you had an amazing day celebrating with your kids and with your own moms. If you would be interested in sharing what you did yesterday, I would be honored to hear what you were up to yesterday on your special day. Just let me know in the comments below what you did yesterday so that we can inspire one another for next Mother's Day. Today, my question for you is, what is your strategy for showing up and then sharing your message? Before we get there, if I haven't already had the privilege of meeting you, my name is Young Pratt, and I am the Chief Dreamer, podcaster, and author right here at Our Young Creators. At OYC, we are on a mission to equip kids with real-world skills like podcasting and show them opportunities for their futures so that they can not only create the future of their dreams, but fund those adventures in the process. We are all about uplifting and celebrating kids right here at Our Young Creators. So this question about strategy, there's a lot that goes into a strategy, and I want to share a story with you. Back when I opened the doors to my then dance studio 17 years ago, I knew nothing about business. All I knew is that I was living back home again with my parents after getting my undergraduate degree and then spending a year traveling and working. Hi, Candy. So good to see you here. So I had just gotten off the road from a year and a half living out of my suitcase and my backpack, and I was traveling and performing and working as an event coordinator and learning so many things about putting shows together behind the scenes. When I came back home, I took a job, a one-year job with AmeriCorps, which is similar to Domestic Peace Corps. I went to work for our local American Indian Council and was their health educator and grant writer. After leaving the road and performing for a year and a half, though, I found myself with this void. I was doing work that I was trained to do as an undergraduate. I have my undergraduate degree in health education, so it is exactly what I wanted to be doing, about helping others to improve their health, and I was really working with an underserved population here in town, and I felt really great about that. However, there was this still, silent voice I had inside, and it took me a while to be able to place it. What I came to realize is that as a performer, it was really difficult to not have that outlet anymore. I wasn't taking classes, I wasn't performing, I wasn't doing those things I did for the past year and a half, and all of a sudden there was this huge void. So, of course, naturally, I turned to some local businesses and called to ask if they had any classes in dance for adults. And everyone I called said no. And well, honestly, there was only one place in town, so they said, nope, we only have classes for kids. So I kept thinking, I need to fill this void somehow. I have this passion burning inside of me. So I turned to my local community college, and they also didn't have any classes for adults. So I asked them the question, can I come teach for you? And they quickly and promptly said yes, and I worked for the local college for several years as their only dance instructor, and we did all sorts of classes from ballet to jazz to production classes to teaching choreography, and I worked on several productions, both musical and non, with the college. And that was such a fun journey for me because I was back immersed in this world I had left and thought I was ready to leave, but there was still that missing thing. So I was teaching classes at the local college, and then a funny thing happened. The parents, well, the moms taking this class had kids, and they asked me whether I could teach their kids. And of course, I never like to say no, of course, so I said, sure. And lo and behold, I opened the doors to my studio, not knowing anything about business. I had this burning desire to share my passions, to share my experiences traveling abroad, being on some of the biggest stages in both in North America and Europe, and I really wanted to be able to be back in that world. So I opened the doors. And I have to say that it went really, really well. The business kind of exploded. I didn't really know what to expect. But behind the scenes, I was kind of feeling like I was dropping all the balls because somebody would ask about a new class or a new opportunity, and I wanted to build this business, so I kept saying yes. I didn't have a strategy, however, for sustaining and growing that business. So quickly, I just felt like things were just falling by the wayside, and I did not want to continue my business like that because it didn't feel great. It always felt like I was disappointing either my kids or my students or someone, and I just didn't like that. So I had to find a mentor who taught me some strategy. The funny thing about strategy is that while it sounds very unsexy, very uncool, and a little bit tedious, especially for someone like me who is very creative and I like to solve problems and do things and make things up as I go along. That's just part of who I am and what I like to do. However, I did find that once I put the strategies in place and took action on them, it actually created more opportunity for me to do more teaching, to do more classes, to serve my community in a bigger way because all of a sudden, things were systematized. I was then able to hire some other teachers, so I wasn't the only one teaching, and that is really when my business started to grow, and in a good way, because there was a strategy. I knew where I wanted to go, and I had to backtrack that and think about the things I was doing now and how those little steps each day were going to get me to that next place I wanted to go. So that leads me back to my question for you. What is your strategy for showing up and sharing your message? On previous videos, I've dived into the topic of sharing your message with the world because I believe truly in my heart of hearts that every person was put on this planet to do something extraordinary. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your experience. Everyone has a story to tell, and everyone's message needs to get heard. To have your message be heard, however, we do all need to take a step back and create a strategy that is going to help us get there. 8 weeks ago, I said yes and signed up for a group coaching program, not really knowing much about the coach, other than she was a good friend of one of my friends and mentors, and she came highly recommended, and I knew that I was going to have an opportunity to meet her at a live event that I was attending, so I said yes. I jumped in, and the course is called Lights, Camera, Branding, and that coach is Tiffany Lee Bymaster, also known as Coach Glitter. And in the last 8 weeks, we have been diving into the topic of branding. And branding is so much more than just having a logo or having particular colors. There's much, much more on the back end. And it's really the foundation of your business and goes into all manner of things. This particular course, however, I was interested in because it really talked about building a brand using video. And I had been using video previously and was going live once or twice a week, every week, to do my podcast and to show up for my clients that I serve. But I knew I wanted to do something more with this brand. You know, we're here to help equip kids and empower them and really show them the possibilities of what is out there. Possibilities that they can use to create their own lives, to dream bigger, and to make really big things happen. So today, as you are considering what is your strategy for showing up and sharing your message, I also want you to think about that in terms of your kids. Whether or not they are in your business now, or maybe they are the neighbor's kids or somebody from your church perhaps that you see potential in, and you want to help give them skills that they can use to craft a better future, I want you to think about this idea of strategy. There has to be a strategy, because I can share with you firsthand that while it may be fun to be able to be a problem solver and put out fires on the go, it gets really exhausting after a while. It's not until we put in a strategy that we can start showing up as our best selves. And that is something that I am so grateful to Tiffany for, because in this course, one of the suggestions she gave was to sit down at the beginning of every week and do a brain dump or a mind map or whatever you need to do. But really to write down all the things we wanted to talk about, especially on live video, and then make a plan. Put them in an order that would make sense, and then be consistent, do the work, and show up every day as our best selves. It's been such an incredible journey over these last 8 weeks, and over the coming days, I'm going to share with you some more of the ways that I've seen myself transform in this process, not only on the outside in video, but more importantly on the inside, because sometimes, as we all know, the one thing standing in our way is right here. The space that exists between our ears sometimes stops us from going out and doing the things we know we're meant to, but it tells us we're scared, or there's some obstacle that, or some reason why we should not continue down that path, even though we know in our heart that that path is going to lead us to that next level for ourselves and our business. So in the comments, I would like to learn from you what it is that you use to create your strategy. Maybe I should back up and ask this question instead. So answer this question. If you're on the replay, type hashtag replay and let me know, and then answer the question. Do you have a strategy now that's going to help you show up and be your best self to share your very important message? I'm going to let you ponder that question. I am looking forward to seeing what you have to share with me in the comments below. I will definitely come back and respond to any comments you leave. I'm excited to know what your strategy is because I'm a student always and love to learn from other people whose strategies are working for them. I'm going to head out and pick up my lovely girls from school, spend some time with them, and then hop on a class with our podcasting students to dive into the wonderful world of repurposing. I will see you back here again, and I will be on time tomorrow at 1:01 p.m. Pacific. Cheers, my friends.